All right, everyone. So in today's episode, we're going to break down the trades from this morning. I'm finishing up $12,553.50 trading from the back of my van in Northern Canada. This is the dream. I am impressed. I really didn't expect today to be such a great day because if we kind of talk about the week in general, this week had been slower, right? I actually haven't had a single day this week where I broke my daily goal until today. So I was sort of content with the fact that, look, I'm in my traveling trading station. I'm locking up small green days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Green is good. No reason to go crazy. The market's not calling for it. When it picks up, I'll dig deep. But in the meantime, I'm just going to chip away on these little base hits. So 3 base hit days in a row. And then all of a sudden today, starting with what at the beginning was a very slow day, but turned into some really solid action. So let's get oriented. Right now, our leading percentage gainer is XRTX. And you will see that I did trade this one. I'm up $453 on it. I'm kind of impressed that this has squeezed up as much as it has just in the last hour or so since the open. It kind of was choppy pre-market, and for that reason, I was like, nah, I don't know if I can really trust it. I got to be sort of careful with this. But man, this thing really opened up. So why don't we start with first trade of the day? All right, so we're going to go back to 7 a.m. I sat down this morning let's see, I looked at my scans at about 6:30, and I saw that the top scan alert was BCDA. This was our leading percentage gainer in the market coming into today. And I sort of was like, a little bit discouraged. So why would I be discouraged? The stock's up like 60%. I was a little discouraged because I saw that the move began after hours, which means I've already missed the first leg of the move, and that bums me out. So I'm like, all right, this thing put in an after hours squeeze, it pulls back, it pushes higher, dips down, pushes higher, but gosh, can I really trade it up here? So it ends up stair stepping down, as you can see, but right at 7 a.m., look at this peak volume, right at 7 a.m., it squeezes up right here, and I took my first trade jumping in it at $5.39. We get this squeeze right here up to about 555, 568 actually. Now, if I show you the 10-second chart, you'll see that although it did put in that nice move, it was a little choppy. So let's see, that was 5:30 a.m. So here we go. So look at this. So topping tail goes to 540 and dips down. Topping tail goes to 550, dips down. And then another little pop and up higher. So I took my first trade on it at 539, which was right here. I got in right there. And it goes up to 550. I'm like, okay. It goes up to 555, and I'm like, I'm going to get out. So I got out right here. So this ended up being, $500 of profit, something like that. Then it dips down, and when it comes back up, I got back in. And it breaks over and goes up to 65.70. Then it kind of stalls out again. And I was like, golly, this thing is just not cooperating. So I ended up only making $832 on it. It was, I mean, look, I don't want to say I'm not grateful because that's still $800 is great. That's good money in 4 minutes of trading. But it was not what I was really expecting. I thought this would move higher because of the fact that it was our number one leading gapper. But because the move had started yesterday, maybe that was kind of the issue. So anyway, so that was BCDA. And as it ends up, that was the peak. And then it was sort of all downhill from there. Surprising, but it's given back most of the move. All right, well, it is what it is. So that's BCDA. So that one's off the list. Then the next one, I'm sitting here kind of being patient, and XRTX hits the scan. And when it first hits the scanner, I'm like, this thing is too cheap. I just don't know if I can make good money on it. But, let's see. So it first pops up, and this was pre-market. It squeezes up here to like 160. So it pops up, it drops down. It pops up, it drops down. Pops up, it drops down. It pops up, it drops down. And then it starts to move higher right here. So I got in this at $1.85, which was a little high, but I got in right here. And I thought at this point it was starting to pull away. So I get in and it goes up to 85 and 90, and then it dips back down. So on this one, got $450 of profit. So now I'm up 1,200 on the day, over $1,000. That's good. Starting to build my cushion, but kind of feels like a little slower even than yesterday. So at that point, I was not really sure this was going to work too well today. So that was at 7:30. And then I don't take any trades for half an hour. At 8 a.m., Lucy pops up on my scan, and I see it hit my scan. I see that it has breaking news, and I bought it at $3.69 for my first entry. So that's way back here, right here. I took my first entry right in there. It was actually sort of right at this spot here, and it goes up to 410. It drops down to 370, and so I was like, that wasn't great. So I got in, it goes up to 410, I take some profit, it comes back down, I get out the rest flat. So I made like 500 on the first trade. Drops down to 360, and then it comes back up here, and I'm like, okay, I can work with this. It dips down, and I got back in right here for the breakthrough 420. We get squeezed up to 440. Now I'm up, like $1,500 on it. I'm like, okay, good. Then we get the break of 440, and we squeeze up to 450. And then we break 450 and we squeeze up to 460, 470, and now we're starting to move. So I just kept basically buying these little dips and then taking profit, and then adding back and taking profit, and adding back and then taking profit, adding back on the dips, taking profit. And we got this rejection here, which was a little gross. So I did take a little loss on that. It then comes back up. We got a cup and handle formation. And now I take another trade for the break of 5. We break 5. And next thing you know, we're grinding up towards 550, 560, 570. This was one of our highest volume candles of the day. And this is where I took my biggest position of the day. So as we pulled away right here, we got a dip. I'm buying the dip into this breakout right here. I ended up adding 2,500 share blocks. So I go 2,500 share, then 5, then 7,500, then 10,000. Then I go 12,500, 15,000, up to 17,500 shares, max position. And ended up, we sort of stalled out here. I was hoping for a squeeze up to 6. But I took my profit, and at that point got myself to up about 9,000 on the day. So basically, 75% of my profit was in this first move right here. Now, during that move, the MACD was open. We had a nice MACD, right? Positive MACD. And then we crossed over right about there. We pulled back here, but then when it comes back up, I got back in right there. And I thought the MACD would cross, but then it didn't. And so I got in at about, it was like 35, 10,000 shares, and it squeezes up to 80. So locked up a couple $1,000 on that, and that put me up 12,000 on the day. But I said, this is kind of weird because the high was 572 and we only went to 592, which means we only broke the high by 20 cents. That's not really that big of a breakout, all things considered. So I said, you know what, maybe that's a divergence that we're seeing here, and I should step back. So at the open, I did get a couple more trades right in here, but then I was done by 9:30, and I did not participate in this move or this chop here. I just said at that point, you know what? $12,500 is pretty solid. That's a really good day. I've now doubled my daily goal, and ultimately it was just trading this breaking news setup. We had breaking news, bought the dips, selling into the move higher. So I think for today, my kind of attitude was that, and this week in total, and we'll look at my metrics, my attitude was that on a day where I sit down and there's not much moving, you know what? I'm just going to trade the market that I'm in. I would love to be in a market where I'm hitting $10,000 a day, like I was kind of last week, 13,000, 12,000, 10,000. But I said, if that's not happening, then, look, trade the market you're in, not the market you want to be in. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, here, small green days, 3,200, 3,100, 3,500. That's the last 3 days. So I've been kind of thinking, I guess the market's cooling off. It's the end of August. I don't know. People are traveling this week. I'm traveling this week. And my thought kind of was, I'm in my van. I don't want to screw up. So let's bring the share size down a little and be a little more conservative. But if something starts to pull away, lean in, get aggressive. And so Monday, I wasn't able to lean in and get aggressive. Tuesday, wasn't able to lean in and get aggressive. Yesterday, I was up 4,500 for like a minute and then dropped back to up 3,500 and was like, well, I guess that's that. So kind of stalled out there. But then today, it was funny because initially it felt like it was even slower because BCDA and XRTX were both like blah. Didn't even make $1,000 on either of them individually. And then when Lucy popped up, the first trade, again, a small winner because it goes from 370 to 410 and then back to 370. But it curled. That was the one that held up. And as it curled and started squeezing higher, I was like, all right, time to jump in. Now we've got something I can really work with. And I was kind of surprised on Lucy, to be honest, because first of all, this is an eyewear company, announces smart eyewear now being sold on Target.com. Someone said, Target has a third-party marketplace, so anyone can sell. These glasses, side note, look stupid. So, is this really a good headline? And I was like, yeah, you've got a good point. I mean, I don't know who's buying Eddie Bauer glasses in this day and age. Eddie Bauer, Nautica. I mean, what is it, 1990? So I was sort of just like, you got a good point there. But at the same time, the price action is telling me this thing is moving up. And that's where we sort of draw the line as traders. We have to trade the chart. So the fundamentals, it might not make sense that a stock goes down this much or goes up this much. I mean, hey, look at WTO yesterday. Chinese stock yesterday, it starts dropping, and this thing drops literally from $2.20 to 7 cents. Chinese liquidation. And there'll be people who are like, well, wait, I'm looking at the filings and it doesn't make sense. I should buy this. It's going to bounce. It just might not bounce. The price can be irrational. So just trade the chart. To me, it's important to understand, oh, this has news and that's why it's moving. But beyond that, I really don't feel like I need to overthink this. So basically, once I saw that there was fresh news and it came out right at 8 a.m., I started trading. Now, something that traders will ask me all the time, they'll say, Ross, how did you get the news so fast? So I didn't get the news first. What happened first was this stock hit my scanners. It hit my stock scanners because it met the criteria that I've told these scanners to search for. So this scanner, this platform, which is part of Day Trade Dash, which of course you guys can get access to if you're subscribing, and you're welcome to, or you could do a 2-week trial. If you come over to warriortrading.com, I'll just jump over here. You come over to warriortrading.com, just go to the main website off the dashboard, and you do the demo. You could do a demo. You could check out the platform. You could always join, but you could do a little platform demo and see what it's like. So anyways, I've told these scanners exactly what to look for. So when Lucy was squeezing up right here in these first few seconds, all of a sudden it starts triggering the threshold for my scanner to issue an alert and to tell me, hey, Ross, there's something that you want to look at right now. Ross, you told us if there's a stock with this float, this price range moving quick to tell you, and so we're telling you. And so I pull it up and I'm like, yep, thank you for the notice. I jump in right away. And now sometimes I jump in right away. Next thing you know, it's at $5, $6, $7 a share and I'm up 300%. In this case, it popped up, it dropped down, and then, then it kind of takes off on the second leg. So you can participate in these how you'd like. You could wait for the first 1 minute pullback, which in this case, we didn't really get until a little bit higher, kind of like right there and then right there, and then the cup and handle. But still, those are totally fine. I'm comfortable jumping in quickly because I've been trading for as long as I have, and I've sort of got the educated intuition on my side. But anyway, so that's how I found Lucy. And then I confirmed, oh, there is news on it, which makes sense because it's 8 a.m. And when a stock starts spiking at 8 a.m., 8:30, 9, and true with earlier hours, it's usually because there's breaking news. So that's how I found the stock, and then I jumped in it pretty much right away. Now, some traders ask about pre-market trading and how I'm able to do that. So for pre-market trading, the software that I'm using is Lightspeed Trading, which you can see right here. And with Lightspeed Trading, when you set up your order here this is kind of like getting a little screwy, so I'll just put it like that. When you set up your order here as a day order, a day order will work from 4 a.m. until 8 p.m. So just like that, I can place the order. I'm using a limit order, not a market order. So if I want to buy something like Ford, whatever, 2 shares, I could just click right there, and I'll usually move my order up like 1 or 2 cents just to offset it a little bit. So I'll do a little offset above, and then I click buy, and that order will execute instantaneously. Boom, I'm in 2 shares of Ford. I want to turn around and sell. I can click the bid right here, and I could just sell, and they're gone. And that's how fast you can be moving in and out of the market. And I could do it pre-market, or I could do it during regular trading hours because the time in force is day. Now, when and I've got Thinkorswim. Let's see if that's still up. Yeah, I do have it up. Which I actually use more for this heat map of the level 2. But anyways, if I go to trade here, this one you have to switch to extended hours right here, and then you could type in, the shares you want, auto send. So buy ask, boom, and then sell bid, boom. So I just lost 6 cents on that trade. But basically, it's buy ask, sell bid, buy ask, sell ask. You can't use market orders pre-market. And you can't use stop orders pre-market. So I can't use stop orders or market orders pre-market. So when I say I stop out, it generally means that I bailed out for a loss. Basically, I said, you know what, this isn't working. I got to cut my loss and jump out. And so I did stop out, so to speak, on a couple today, but, just because I was manually exiting. And you can script all of that to hotkeys. So just by pressing your buttons, you're getting in and out. Now, if you want to learn about all of that, why don't you check out the 2-week trial, Warrior Trading. That'll give you access to this platform right here. And you'll also be able to go through some of my classes so you can learn how I'm actually getting in and out, how I'm choosing the stocks I'm trading, and learn more about my strategy. So I'll put the link in the description and pin to the top of the comments for the 2-week trial. It's 2 weeks for $20. That'll give you real-time market data for charts, scanners, news feed. You'll have access to my chat room. You'll have access to my broadcast, and you'll get access to 7 chapters of educational content. So anyways, I hope you guys check that out. And I'm going to be back at it first thing tomorrow morning. I know I said I would do a full-length class when I doubled the daily goal. So I'm going to owe you a full-length class because I don't have the time to do it today. And usually when I do a full-length class, I like to have my whiteboard, and I don't have my whiteboard here. So I'm going to do something next week. All right, so thanks as always for tuning in. And reminder, trading is risky. My results aren't typical, so manage your risk, take it slow. And I'll see you back here bright and early streaming tomorrow morning for Warrior Pro members.